This is Akashvani. In the program Spotlight, now we bring you a discussion on developmental projects in Tamil Nadu and Lakshadweep. The participants are Shekhar, Iyer, political analyst, and Gaura Dhawan Lal, anchor.
Hello and welcome to our program. Prime Minister Narendra Modi had a visit to Lakshadweep, Tamil Nadu, and Kerala on the 2nd and 3rd of January. In fact, in Tamil Nadu and Lakshadweep, he laid the foundation stones and inaugurated many developmental related projects. So that's our topic for conversation today. We are delighted to welcome to our program Mr. Shekhar Iyer, political analyst. Shekhar, welcome to the program.
Thank you, Gauraji.
So when we talk of Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas and Sabka Vishwas, and I think keeping this template in mind to go to Chennai, in fact other parts including Chennai are different parts of Tamil Nadu and Lakshadweep. Let's begin with Lakshadweep first because it's a waterbound, union territory, and it has, I think because it's a little away from the mainland, development has been over the past many years a little slow in reaching it, but now I think there's gusto, there's zest, and there's a lot of momentum to see its strategic importance, of course, in the southern waters of the nation, and also to see it as an integral part which needs to be linked to the mainland in many ways. So your inputs on some of the developmental projects that the Prime Minister has inaugurated and what he said over there.
Gauraji, we have seen in the last 8-9 years particularly, remote areas, border areas, coastal areas, and far-flung areas, like the Lakshadweep Islands. They have been receiving attention, and some of the pending projects for better connectivity, for better quality of life have been going on. In Lakshadweep particularly, we have seen Prime Minister inaugurate a very important internet connectivity, that is Kochi Lakshadweep Islands submarine optical fiber connection.
Right.
This is something that the Prime Minister had promised when he had addressed from the Red Fort on the occasion of August 15th in 2020. And he had said this would be completed within 1,000 days. And today it has been inaugurated. This will provide fast internet facilities to people of Lakshadweep, which is a must because in the digital age, you need a fast, reliable internet connectivity. This is going to improve the quality of life as far as digital transactions, educational purposes, as well as banking transactions. So this is a very big boost that has happened. Now, along with this, there are other projects I would like to mention, particularly, Prime Minister's Jal Jeevan Mission, providing household tap connections. In fact, today, Prime Minister inaugurated tap connections in all households of Agatti and Minicoy Islands. It's a very, very big achievement. 100% saturation has been achieved. And this has been done along with the dedication of thermal desalination plants so that the seawater is used for drinking water purposes by removing the salinity in the water. This scheme is a very important scheme for people of Lakshadweep. There are water everywhere, but drinking water has been a major issue in those islands.
Right.
So this thermal desalination plant has a 1.5 lakh liter per day capacity.
Okay.
So you can imagine what a big relief for the people of these islands. And along with that, you have seen the dedication of a solar power plant at Kavarati. Then he has also laid foundation stone for renovation of these primary healthcare facilities, Anganwadi centers. And even though, as the Prime Minister said today, the geographical area of Lakshadweep may be small, but people are very important to us and their hearts are as deep as the ocean. So Prime Minister even today pointed out that his government's policy is to see that the remote, border, coastal and island areas receive top priority attention when it comes to development, and the central government schemes are delivered to every citizen, no matter which part of the country. Today, Prime Minister spoke about what is the immense possibilities for export of quality local fish. Already some quantities of tuna is going to Japan, and there are scope for seaweed culture so that even seaweed can be harvested and can be exported. So one can see that the scheme of things, remote areas, no matter what is the population, but they all receive attention and they are covered under the major flagship programs.
Right. So, Shekhar, I think one of the things that we understand which really helps in uplifting the level and the standard of living of people is livelihood. So what do you think would be the impact in terms of job creation because of these projects?
So each of these projects, Gaura, you will notice that, look at fishing. Because today Prime Minister also distributed Kisan credit cards. And those cards have been given to fishermen who are being treated as farmers. because the work involves a similar thing, and pisciculture is also being encouraged along with agriculture.
Right.
Now, in an area where, all that you have is ocean around you, one can see the kind of facilities that can be provided to fishermen, better quality boats, better nets, as well as cold storage facilities to keep the produce before they are processed for export. So these projects have now been started here, and particularly, Prime Minister, as I mentioned earlier also, fishing has a tremendous scope, and that scope will provide jobs to many people. And because Prime Minister lamented the fact that want of development in previous years and even lack of education institutions, good quality education. People of Lakshadweep used to go to the mainland, mostly to Cochin, Kerala, or to other parts of the country. But today, the effort is to set up institutes of higher education, polytechnics in Lakshadweep itself, so that people don't have to go just for the purpose of education. They can always go abroad or go to the other parts of the country for employment or better avenues. But for the very sake of education, if somebody has to travel hundreds of kilometers away from your home, that's a very big strain on the family's economy.
True.
So the whole idea is to see that these people of Lakshadweep are able to transform their lives by making avail of several government schemes. At the same time, the Prime Minister also mentioned about the fragile economy of the region, because all development will have to be sustained development, will have to take care of environment.
Right, ecology is definitely of prime importance there. Wanting to draw your attention, Shekhar, now to the Prime Minister's visit to Tamil Nadu, and over there multiple projects related to railroad, oil and gas, shipping sectors, and of course the inauguration of a new terminal building at Tiruchirappalli International Airport, and then moving to the other area of the demonstration fast reactive fuel reprocessing plant, the DFRP at Kalapakkam. So this is a huge range we see over here, and all these projects in Tamil Nadu. What does it mean for the people and the economy there?
Well, Tamil Nadu has always been one of the industrialized states of our country. But along with that, it has been facing a lot of new challenges, both in terms of employment potential, in terms of upgradation of technology for the local industries. And Tamil Nadu has had a very special place in the Prime Minister's scheme of things. We have seen the launch of a defense corridor in Tamil Nadu, along with one in Uttar Pradesh. And the message that the Prime Minister has sought to give, even in this visit, is the centre considers southern states, particularly Tamil Nadu, as a very important for the development of the country. That is why he said, while he was inaugurating all these projects, that development of Tamil Nadu is also means development of the country. And without development reaching its full potential in Tamil Nadu, one cannot see full potential being reached in all over the country. That is why he said that development of states are very important in our scheme of things. And Tamil Nadu particularly, because there is a lot of political angle to it, because these regional parties which are governing the states like Tamil Nadu, they constantly complain of stepmotherly treatment or attitude from the center. But the Prime Minister's assurance was, when it comes to development, when it comes to Vikas, there is no question of politics ever coming into the center's mind while deciding on the implementation of the projects. So one can see that even his first public program this year has been in Tamil Nadu. And yesterday, the projects that were launched yesterday, they are worth 20,000 crores. And it covers so many things: roadways, railways, ports, airports, energy, and petroleum pipeline. That's a very important project that was launched yesterday, because this project will bring cooking gas through pipeline. It has been a pending project for a long time. That project has been delayed at least by a decade. So that PM speeded up, and you can see that very soon this project is going to ensure that the energy is available at a very, very economical rate for people, both for farmers and for common households. So all the projects that you saw Prime Minister launch, and also the Prime Minister pointed out that in terms of what the centre has transferred to states, Tamil Nadu has got 2.5 times more money in the last 10 years compared to the period preceding 2014. So whether it comes to national highways, whether it comes to railway sector, there is no limitation on the part of the sector to provide the necessary finance.
You very rightly said people before politics anytime, and that's really, really heartwarming. Drawing your attention to the Prime Minister when at the convocation ceremony of the Bharatidasan University, when he addressed them, he spoke to a lot of young people there and said it is the best time to be young in India, and we are looking at wanting to reap the demographic dividend, have good educational institutions so that We don't have a demographic liability. So this is truly an exciting time for young people looking to make a life for themselves, right?
The last 10 years has seen opening of new areas of excellence, new areas of skill development, and also the coming of new technology like artificial intelligence. The Prime Minister has been, in fact, yesterday also emphasized that the young people should take advantage of the new opportunities that are coming, and they must look at the future of India in terms of the technological innovation. As you have seen, the Prime Minister has been talking about innovation as a very important tool when we want to transform people's lives. And there is not one area where technology cannot be used. We have seen, for instance, let us take the use of drone in agriculture now. And in that idea of using drone, the drones can be used for spread of pesticides, for taking pictures of the state of the crop. There are so many things that the drone can do, and self-help women groups have now been involved. They can provide these drone services to farmers for a fee. So similarly, at his convocation address of this Bharathidasan University in Tiruchirappalli, he said, look, this is a time when so many things are happening. And ours is a nation which has always been centered around knowledge. We are a knowledge society. And for the young people, this is the best opportunity for simple reason, because if they acquire special skills, if they acquire special knowledge, that will open up new opportunities for them. That is why realize the fact that several hubs of knowledge are coming up everywhere. And they must also ask themselves, how are they preparing for that future? What will be their contribution? Because they have to think deeply about the purpose of their own education. That's why you would have seen yesterday, before the start of the photo op session, he turned around and asked them, are you all ready for the future? Have your future plans are ready? Even before you address them, he said that. So the whole idea is the kind of achievement that India has seen, whether it comes to tackling the COVID problem with world's mass immunization scheme. So Prime Minister feels youth means energy, and it also means ability to work with speed, skill, and scale.
Right. And I think scale is of great importance, particularly in a country like India, where we need depth in what we do, good quality in what we do, but we definitely need outreach and scale. Wanting to quickly understand from you that in a country like India, what are some factors that actually bring about scale?
It is the fact that the scale comes into question or comes into play because the potential that India is. For instance, in the last 10 years, as the Prime Minister mentioned, the number of airports have doubled. There were 74 airports earlier. Today, there are 150 airports. And cargo handling capacity of all major ports, they have doubled. And in terms of highway construction, if you look at the per kilometer construction, you can see they have also doubled, and they are being done at a greater speed. And number of startups. In 2014, there were only 100 startups. Today, we are talking in terms of 100,000, 1 lakh startups. Also, several deals are taking place, several businesses are happening. Just now, you saw a new diamond market hub that was opened in Surat. So, you can see that India is emerging as a big player in the global supply chain. So, you can see that both in terms of local market, local factors, as well as in terms of global possibilities. That requires that our youth are ready, they develop themselves, they acquire skills to match the need of the future.
Absolutely. In fact, infrastructure, you spoke about roads, information technology, these are all huge multipliers which can actually, make progress travel at geometric progression rates, not just arithmetic. So thank you so much, Shekhar Iyer, for joining us on our program today. It was a pleasure speaking with you.
Thank you, Gopal.
You were listening to a discussion on developmental projects in Tamil Nadu and Lakshadweep. The participants were Shekhar Iyer, political analyst, and Gaura Dhawanlal, anchor. This program was produced and presented by the News Services Division of Akashvani. You can listen to it on our mobile app News on AIR. This program is also available on our YouTube channel News on AIR Official. You may share your feedback about this program through email at airnsdtalks@gmail.com or WhatsApp on 9289 094044.